Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So I am just getting back. Yesterday, my husband and I came home from Orlando, Florida. We were there for 5 days at a credible business conference called Funnel Hacking Live, and 3,000 crazy entrepreneurs from all over the world. And as much as we love these experiences and are thankful that we have the opportunity to do this, I don't like being away and being off my regular routine. Now, can I recreate stuff? Kind of, sort of. I mean, we were at a resort in Disney World. No ocean, so I don't get, to walk my dogs. I don't get to box and train and to kind of do some body weight stuff. And we got a 3-hour time zone difference, didn't sleep. It was just a little bit of an insane week. Lots of kind of stuff that was coming up for us with business. And so needless to say, it was a bit of a fucking shit show. It was a bit of a shit show. It was a good shit show, but coming back to routine and the things that ground me, like starting my day. So this morning, got up. Now, didn't get up as early as I normally do because, again, there's some jet lag stuff going on and really have not felt well over the last 24 hours with all the traveling and early morning and not good. And several days of this. I can swing this a couple days. But then my body kind of starts to break down and goes, you need some fucking sleep, Karen. Get the hell to bed. Let's go. So, but yet still, got up early enough that I'm walking my dogs in the dark. I walk past deer, right in the city where we live in Victoria, BC, Canada. It's just I love the city that we live. I love where we live. It is such a perfect city for us, even though we've only been here for a year and a half, a little bit more, close to 2 years actually, 2 years in August. This is home for us every single time. Come home. We're flying in. We live on an island. Victoria's on Vancouver Island. It's not Vancouver. It's called Vancouver Island. So we're an island across the ocean from Vancouver, from the mainland, and very, very special city. But getting back to the routine, came back from walking the dogs, and I have my water and turn on my essential oils, and then I meditate. And by that time, now my kids were up a little bit early, and so there's a few things that got a little disjointed, and I will complete those. Dropping, getting my kids ready for, today it's spring break, and so my eldest son Tyson is at a day camp at one of the local community centers. So he's pumped to go to do that and do lots of fun stuff and swim and play and field trips, and Kai is off to daycare. Daddy's taking him. And then I'm heading to the gym to train. And then I'll head back and get to create and produce. And, it's crazy because we got back yesterday, and then tomorrow Tyson and I fly to Edmonton. So this is where we used to live in Alberta, to visit his birth mom, Chanel. And because we adopted our son Tyson from birth. And so although we used to live in Alberta, we would see Chanel a lot more often. We head back, since we're now here in BC, we head back once a year. We do that. And we were going to stay overnight at a hotel, actually inside the West Edmonton Mall, which is one of the biggest malls in the world. I think it's maybe it used to be it was number 1 or number 2. It's probably number 5 or 6 now, but it's a big fucking ass mall. And a big water park inside, and of course all the shops and restaurants and all sorts of stuff, and a hotel. So we're going to stay at the hotel, and it was just last night I'm saying to husband Ed, I'm you know what? I'm going to call the airline and see if we get on the last flight coming back Tuesday night. I don't want to fucking stay in another hotel. I don't want to eat shitty fucking restaurant food. No. I want to be back in my bed. I want to walk my dogs that morning. Because our flight out tomorrow morning is at 6 a.m. That means we have to get to the airport by 4:30. It's about a half-hour drive, so I have to leave at 4 a.m. with my 7-year-old. It's one thing for me to get up early and it's, whatever. I get up early. That's not a real big deal. Leaving at 4, I'll get up at 3:30, everything kind of packed and ready. But when you now have the kid factor, right? If you're a parent, shit can go down. You got to almost allow a little bit extra time. So, yeah, so we'll come up and come back just so I can simply come back to routine. And although that routine is going to be that I don't get to work when I come back because we didn't set up Tyson for that day camp for the Wednesday, and at this point they're super full, right? They've got like waiting lists, but we'll hang out. I'll do a little bit of work. We'll hang out. Maybe we'll go to the movies, but I'll have more of that routine. You know, I can get up early and walk my dogs. I'm gonna see if my coach is still available to train like that morning, and I'll train with Rob. We'll be able to come back and, you know, have food that's in our house. I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with eating out, and we don't eat like shit food, but you know, a lot of restaurant food is just like, no, I want to be home. I just want to eat what I want to eat. I'll be able to make my keto coffee and blend it in my Vitamix blender with my ketones and my grass-fed butter and routine. Like, there's such magic in routine. And the craziest piece is there's so many of you, maybe this is you, sister, that you resist routine because you feel somehow it's like it's shackles. Like it constricts you, it confines you to say, well, I get up this time and then I work out this time and then I meditate, and you know. But what you don't understand is that having routine and structure in your day actually frees you. It means you don't have the shackles and the stress of like, well, what's coming up next and how can I fit this in? And oh, it's Thursday, I haven't been to the gym yet, and how do I do that? And oh, it's date night tomorrow night, did you call the sitter? Like, you have your routine and your structure in place, and it is freeing, sister. Freeing. But here's the thing, don't fucking believe a word I'm saying right now. Why don't you test it and see for yourself? So right now, if your current way of being is to fly by the seat of your pants, that means that you get up when the kids get up in the morning, they wake you up, and it's like insanity. You're like, where are the clothes? Who's making lunches? Like, you're running around like a fucking mad woman. You don't schedule your gym workouts. You don't schedule date night things. You just don't even do date nights. You don't figure out what's happening for like food in the house. Like, it's literally just like everything is just a fire that you're putting out. With yourself, with your marriage, with your kids, with work. That way of being. You know which one I'm talking about, right? And then you try a week where you don't have it like that. Now, does this take some work? You better fucking believe it. Some of you might see my routine like, you know, especially like winding down at the end of the day, right? Where it's like, okay, lunches are home. I'm going to clean stuff out. I'm going to get the lunches ready. They're in the fridge with their water bottles. Kitchen is all cleaned up. Any laundry is like all done. I then put up my essential oils for the day. I've got all my stuff out for coffee in the morning. I've got my book out in my journal that I'm reading, like downstairs, because I come downstairs and I instantly walk my dogs. Like, everything is fucking ready. Kids' clothes are out. My workout clothes are out. My gym bag is out. Like, everything is prepared. Boots, like everything. And you know what that does for me? Fucking freedom. Routine equals freedom. I'm telling you, routine and structure equals freedom. That means that I don't have to. So for example, like last week when we had a really good friend of ours, Patricia, and I so appreciate her coming out here to watch her boys while we were away. And I'm going to get, like, I realized, I'm like, okay, the backpack, and then they could be, I didn't know if they were swimming today at his day camp. I think they go kind of like every other day they swim. And so, but I normally would have, like, in the pool bag, I always, after the kids have swim lessons, the towels get washed, the suits get washed, goggles are dried out, and they're just in the bag the next day, right? And so I go and I have everything else ready, but I'm like, oh, right. You know, Tyson had swimming last week, a little bit off of routine, kind of like getting back into it, right? And I'm like, oh shit, I better check his bag. And I'm like, I'll go Tyson. I go, where's your shoes? Because they have, like, you know, inside shoes stuff, right? Because it's a little rainy here right now today. So I'm like, where's your inside shoes, buddy? They're just in a different place. We found them. I'm like, where's your, I lost my goggles. I'm like, okay, we gotta have fun. So create some new goggles sometime today. Where's your swimsuit? Like, there were some things that were kind of off of that, and it kind of, like, disjointed me. Now, just so you know, with this routine and structure, you gotta also have some flexibility. You gotta be prepared to flow with things. So as I dropped off Tyson today, and he's kind of grumbly a little bit, you know, whatever. He was, in pretty good mood. He's a little tired, I think, today. We get in the day camp, they have them either sectioned here, the green or the blue, and they have little name tags on the kids, and it's all really organized. They're really great, this community center. But yeah, we go in, and apparently he's green. He's usually been blue. He's having a meltdown. He's taking off the tag. He's, you know, crumpling balls, throwing only seven a meltdown. So I have choices in those moments, right? who do I need to become to help Tyson recover from this right now and to get me out the door so I can go to the gym and train? Like, who do I need to become in this moment? Now, if I go to the place of, and I can go there too. I mean, I even said to him, like, I'm like, Tyson, Mommy's got to get going. Like, mommy needs to start her day. Mommy needs to go train. And he knows, we've talked to the kids about this, like, when we work, like, what Ed and what Daddy and I do for work, it's part of who we are. Like, we're a better mommy and daddy to you when we have the time to do these things. I'm a better mommy to you when I have the time, when I create the time, and I have the time. When I create the time, sons, for mommy to go and train and move her body and sweat and hit things. Like, I'm better for you. I'm modeling this for my kids, right? But they get all this. And so, I started to go like, oh, Tyson, Mommy's got to go, all that kind of thing, right? I'm like, wait a second. Who do I need to become right now? I just need to stop and allow my child to feel what he's feeling right now. To not tell him not to feel these things, because, that's like saying, don't cry, and you're crying. You're like, well, but I am crying. What do you mean? Don't, like, that's what's happening right now, right? Who do I need to become in this moment? And I need to be okay with being flexible with the routine, with the structure. So just know that routine and structure doesn't mean that if things don't happen this way, then my whole day is fucked. Like, no. I could have gone there this morning when Tyson was doing that. I could have gone this morning when I asked him to put on his boots for like the 5th time. Tyson, put your boots on. Okay, Mommy. 30 seconds later, minute later. Tyson, sweetie, we got to go. Put your boots on, honey. Right? Like, I could, and you know what it's like again, when if you're a parent, you're like, oh my God, dude, 5 times. Like, I get it if you're maybe a little bit tired. I get it that you're 7. Like, but come on. Mommy's got things organized, so we don't have to have these conversations. But I'm telling you right now, if you simply try on scheduling things based on what you want, based on knowing your deep why, based on understanding who you are and how you operate, just like I explained about, like, listen, creating work, providing value, teaching, coaching, it's part of me. It's like fucking oxygen. Do you get that? This is not a job for me. This is who I am. For me to go to the gym right now, which my coach Rob, when I texted him last time, I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm so excited to get back to training, being away. And he's like, I did an 8K run yesterday and I sprained my ankle. Like, I gotta rest a little bit, because he's training people all day long, right? I'm like, fuck. It's like, but you have a key for the gym, so just go and train. Like, do what we do. Of course, I can't do pads. I can't spar by myself, but I'm gonna do everything else that we do for training, right? So I'm sitting outside the gym, about to go in. But you plan out your week. Like, so this podcast episode is actually coming out on a Friday. So you've got the weekend now, or I don't care if you listen to 6 months from now. Like, just start today of just saying, okay, what do I truly want, right? Why do those things matter? Who am I? Based on who you are. Planning out your week, that you take time on a Sunday and you go, here's where I'm doing my workouts or my movement. Here's where we're having family time. Here's where it's date night. Here's my time for me. Here's when I work. I know it's time to do these things, but I'm telling you, you get so much time back. I'm going to make a bold statement. I'm going to say that you save 5 times the amount of time that it takes you to actually plan out things. For me, it's such part of routine and structure. It's not even just like things are just going, right? They feel like systems that are in place right now. So the only way for me to fuck things up is to not show up and be there. But you take the time and you plan out today what you're doing over the next 7 days with your body and your health. So that's workouts, any kind of nutrition, I don't care, meal planning stuff, like whatever it takes, right? You figure out what's happening with your marriage. So when you send those text messages, put the messages into your calendar. Text my husband. For me, it's text my king and red every single day. I don't miss. When are your date nights or date night? We have 1, sometimes 2 a week, but for sure, when is your date night that week? When's the time you're spending with your children? When is the time you're focusing on your business and your work? Like, you plan this shit out. So that's your more tip. Plan out your next 7 days on all those things. And then here's the thing. I want you then to go back to the way it used to be for you. Now, you might right now say, oh, no, Karen, I do this, so I'm just going to kind of bypass over. Okay, cool. But if that's the case, then I want you to take a look at your routine right now and figure out how can you actually do it better. Right? How can you do it better? You might go, oh no, I plan it, but I only hit like maybe half of it. Because then I create excuses and bullshit as to why I can't show up to the gym, or why I, chose shitty choices for food when I didn't want to do that, or I chose to like, oh, we're tired, let's not do date night, we don't have a sitter, like you didn't plan, like, It's always a way to make it better. So journal that and then commit to doing this over the next 7 days. And really see what's possible. See how it feels different in your body. And then go back to your stressful as fuck way of being. And you tell me, which one do you want? Does it take work for this? Yes. But is it worth it? Fuck yes. Fuck yes. So, 3 things, sister, I want to share with you before we finish up this podcast. Number 1, speaking of fuck yes is the number 1 selling item, which is actually on a mug. Number 1 selling item that is inside the Women Wanting More store that was launched about 2 weeks ago. So there are t-shirts and tanks and hoodies and beanies and mugs. This is just the beginning of a way for you to wear who you are. Like, these are more than words. You're going to go and you're going to see the 6 phrases that are there right now and the meaning, the stories behind this. This is part of the culture of Women Wanting More. This is you representing and saying, this is what I believe in, that I am powerful and I am all in and fuck yes to things in life that I want. So head over to shop.womenwantingmore.com. Now, right now until April the 1st, if you get in the podcast later, I don't think it'll still be there, but April 1st is when the free shipping ends. So right now it's still free shipping. Free shipping anywhere in the world. I take care of that for you. So head over to shop.womenwantingmore.com. And as you know, all these resources will be in your show notes. So whether you actually get them emailed to you, which by the way is my next thing to have you do, is to sign up for the Women Wanting More newsletter so you get all the show notes. You get all the advanced notes. You get on the VIP access. I'm going to send you how to start your day in power, which I described earlier, you're more for. And 2 video trainings I did inside an exclusive group that I have called the Women Wanting More Experience. So head over to drkarenosborne.com/action guide, and you can sign up for that then today. But otherwise, again, links will be show notes or in your phone. If you're on an iPhone, then click that little eye, it opens up, and you can click one of the links. Click on the link that says for the newsletter. Click on the link to go to the Women Wanting More. It's shop.womenwantingmore.com. And then lastly, I would love for you to share up this podcast with someone else that you know that needs to hear this message today. It could be a sister that's just so off of her routine. You're like, man, you should really listen to this. Like, this has made a difference for me. And share up this episode with at least one woman that you know. And guess what the easiest is to affect at least one woman? Post it up on Facebook. Post it up on Instagram. Like, share this shit up. This is not for you to keep for yourself. Even though there's 3,000 to 4,000, 5,000 women that listen to every single podcast every single day, 3,000 to 4,000, 5,000 listens a day, there are more women that we need to reach around the world. Because my why for doing this, sister, is I believe that if you and other women fully plug into the power you possess as a wife, as a mother, as a businesswoman, as yourself, that there will be more love in this world. That's a mic drop. So there you go. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.